everyone. If you're new here, I'm Chastity and I make videos about my infertility journey and helpful tips to help you with yours. Today I want to share with you my secrets to IVF success. Before I get into the top secrets, I want you to subscribe to my channel because I will have more helpful tips to help you with your infertility journey, and also follow me on Instagram at Don't Worry You're Young. Tip number 1 is start IVF before you start IVF. And what I mean by that is right now at this moment you are considering IVF. You are thinking of doing IVF in June of 2021. However, you want to look at your calendar and you actually want to look at 3 to 6 months before June 2021. So that's from January now to March is when you actually want to start preparing for IVF. You want to prepare your mind, your body, and your soul for IVF. In order to prepare your body for IVF, it's pretty obvious you have to take care of yourself. You have to drink plenty of water. You have to have a healthy diet and take vitamins and supplements and a prenatal vitamin. And what do I mean by a healthy diet? So that depends on you and your body. For me, in IVF number 1, I thought it would be best to start eating a salad a day. And I didn't really change my diet too much. I still ate meat, and that was not the right plan for me. During IVFs 2 and 3, however, I did some more research and found that a plant-based diet with a little bit of fish, warm foods, was better for me. And that was what my body responded to. I had better egg quality, I had more eggs that were retrieved, and that diet was 100% better than the first diet that I had. So make sure that you're able to do some research and know exactly what kind of diet is right for your particular body as well as your particular condition. And as far as your mind, I'll discuss that a little bit further in the video, but you want to prepare mentally. This is going to be a tough journey, and just be mentally prepared that some things may not go as you have planned, and be able to be fluid and flexible with this journey. And your spirit, well, that is also related to a couple of tips that I have later on in this video. So let's move on to tip number 2. Tip number 2 is to have an IVF buddy. And what I mean by an IVF buddy is have someone who has already gone through IVF, who is familiar with the process and has had some success. You want to have this person follow up with you. There are going to be, for me, there were some times where I just did not want to talk to anybody. However, my IVF buddy knew exactly when to call me and to inspire me and to encourage me and to lift me up and tell me, you know, this journey is tough and you will get through it. You will have a baby. You will be successful. So just having someone remind you of those things is so helpful along the way, because it can be tough. It's mentally tough, and it can be financially tough in some cases. So just make sure to have that one person or two in your life that you can turn to whenever you need help. And also, I think it's helpful to have someone who is also going through the IVF with you. So being a part of different forums online and subscribing to different YouTube channels about infertility and IVF is very helpful, because you're able to see what others have gone through and learn from their experiences. And that way you can also make some adjustments in your plans if you want to have success like the people that you are following and keeping in contact with. Now for tip number 3. Tip number 3 is acupuncture. For IVF number 1, I did not do acupuncture. However, I did acupuncture in preparations for IVF 2 and 3 and also my frozen embryo transfer. I did acupuncture about once a week, and it was so beneficial. The acupuncturist focuses on infertility. She has a lot of IVF patients, so she knows and understands the process and knows exactly what she needs to do in order to prepare us for that process. So for me, I went to initial consultation. I actually did a questionnaire right before the consultation, and she asked me all about my health, about my eating habits, and we had a discussion of everything that I wrote down. She had a lot of questions for me, and then that's when she recommended that I eat warm foods, because she found that based on what I told her and what I wrote down, my body runs cold. And so she recommended, even though it was summertime, to always wear warm socks. So during this preparation period, I was wearing wool socks every single day. And if I ever felt cold, I needed to put on a jacket or, keep my body warm at all times. So that was very helpful. And acupuncture in general, just getting the treatments, were very relaxing. I would lay there, sometimes I would fall asleep. And this brings me into my next tip, which is to have affirmations. I had affirmations throughout my IVFs 2 and 3, as well as the embryo transfer. So I created some affirmations and I would speak them almost every day, and especially on those days where I was having a tough time. Sometimes we talk negatively in our minds and create different scenarios that are just not reality. And so whenever that would happen, I would snap out of it and speak my affirmations out loud, so that way I can train my brain to not go into those negative thoughts. And that was very helpful. In relation to acupuncture, during the acupuncture, I would also say different affirmations. I would relax there and just visualize my egg retrieval process and how it was successful, and how I have retrieved, numerous eggs and numerous eggs fertilized. I visualized the phone call that I received about how many eggs fertilized and the joy that I had, and I actually would feel the joy of hearing the great news. And I also did that prior to my frozen embryo transfer. I had acupuncture before and after the transfer in the fertility clinic. The acupuncturist came there and she performed the treatments. While I was relaxing, I said my affirmations and I visualized the transfer and how successful it was, and how the little embryo is exactly where it needs to be in order to implant into, my uterus. So that was very helpful. So I strongly suggest create some affirmations for yourself. You can say them every day or however often as you need them. And that is a huge secret to my IVF success. Follow some inspirational YouTube channels or vlogs or blogs that talk about infertility or IVF. For me, I focused on Nerida Walker, and I will include a link to her channel below. But I watched her videos and she had inspirational messages about miracle pregnancies. I liked the way that she reminded me that God has a plan and God has given me a promise, and He will fulfill that promise of me becoming a mom. So that also relates to the affirmations. So watching those videos, I also created some affirmations from the different inspirational messages that she would speak about. Tip number 6 is create a budget. Now, this may not directly contribute to my IVF success. However, it does connect, because if you create your budget and you know exactly how much money you're going to spend, that can ease some of the stress, because what you want to do is eliminate or reduce as much stress that's within your power before or during this IVF process. So what I did was I created a budget for actually IVF number 1, and I wrote down exactly how much it would cost. I wrote down the cost of the IVF, the estimated or projected cost of the medical treatments, the medications, the ultrasounds, the embryo storage, ICSI, and assisted hatching. And there are a bunch of different options that are available for IVF. And so I just projected how much that would cost, and we prepared to save as much as we could in order to pay cash for that IVF. We also did a GoFundMe page where we solicited donations to help contribute to starting our family, which was very helpful, and many of you did donate, and we're so grateful. And thank you again so much for donating and your support. So that was also something that helped financially and helped ease the burden, the financial burden of the IVF, because it's so expensive. And finally, my last tip number 7, is based on overall wellness. Now, this is something that for me was very helpful in IVF 2 and 3, but mainly for my frozen embryo transfer. And that was prepare the space where you're going to be most often. Declutter it, deep clean it, just have it nice, have it in like a place where you can relax and you enjoy being there, and not have to look at the uncompleted projects that I need to complete, or clothes that I need to fold in the corner of the room. So that way, everything is organized, and that will allow you to at least be able to relax versus laying there and seeing clothes on the floor, or just different projects that you're intending to work on. All of those things are stress factors and triggers, and you do not want that. Try to eliminate as many stress factors as you can that are within your control. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos and tips like this. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed day. Encourage yourself in the Lord. Take care. Bye-bye.